Sai, quick question for you.
Yep.
Are you able to heal me if I need it? If I heal myself and get bit again?
Am I able to heal you?
I don't know. I'm asking.
That was a rhetorical question, buddy. The
Calyx,
answer is
Sai,
I can.
If Honest gets real bad, can you help him out?
Calyx,
The answer is no.
you can roll 3d6 by the way for that third swarm for heads.
Sounds good.
Plus the 2.
The answer is I could either stab him with magical swords, shock him,
Get up for it.
give him psychic damage.
So 20 total. So whatever you had total plus 20.
14 plus
Plus
20.
20?
Yeah, because there were the
Oh my
two.
god, okay.
There was
we
the
got
swarm.
34 heads.
Yeah, there was the swarm plus
You were
2 big
15
rats.
of them on one thing. I made it nice and easy for you, Cal.
Wait, how much did we get?
That you did. We have 34 heads right now. You're all welcome for the triple times modifier on the bounty.
Also, just because
I'm gonna spend time carefully, like
just because
getting all
it's
these
killing me on the inside, Onyx, do you want to do me a quick favor? Open up your character sheet.
Character sheet's open.
Cool. Go to the right corner where your lay on hands is, and then I want you to go.
Hang on.
6 down. And open the one that says Divine Health. And read it out
I'll
loud.
be right back. On that note.
Oh, it makes you immune to disease. I'm just a jackass.
There you go. You are not sick, and you cannot get sick. I was gonna wait to see how long it took.
Meat shield.
Yeah, you are immune to non-magical diseases.
That was incredible.
Wait, so guys, I'm just wondering, does anybody else have this magical thing called not getting hurt by diseases?
Is anyone else a level
It'd
3
be
paladin?
great for you to speak out now.
I don't think Onyx knew he had it.
I'm more or less. I think I'm asking Calyx and Sai, and
I don't think Cole
leaning
knew
towards
he had
Calyx.
a name. So.
Well, I think Calyx went to the bathroom, but you know that is typically an ability from people who worship, like the gods or whatever, a bestowed ability, and the only person that you think would match that description of the 4 of you is probably Onyx.
And then you would assume Brontes would probably have it knowing based on that, but he's not with us right this moment.
I mean, you could certainly go and ask him, but he is currently not in the room with the 4 of you.
Just gonna march over there. Hey, Brontes, real quick.
Sai, you ready to go into this next room?
Yes, are you?
I'm gonna go in.
Okay. The door is unlocked. You can enter.
Question: Are they waiting for us to finish collecting the heads first to join them, or no?
That's up to them.
You said you were taking your time, I thought.
Yes, I am. It'll take me like 2 minutes.
Well, I walked into a room.
Okay, you walk into the room. You see nothing. You see a bench against the
Can
south
we do
side
a
of the table.
perception, investigation or perception?
Yeah, perception is quicker than investigation. Choose which one you want to do.
Wait, which does which?
So investigation is you're going to go through the room and look. Perception is you're going to take a quick glance from where you're standing.
We're going to investigate.
Okay, so you're going to take a little bit of time. In which case...
do I get advantage with Sai?
If Sai helps you, then yes.
Yeah.
Sai, are you helping?
Sprinkle. Yes.
Okay. Natural 20.
Oh!
Nothing! Man, I wish I put something
Dude, I'm sorry.
I wish I put something in this room.
Real quick. I'm just saying, Calyx's last set of 3 perfects, that one, me to kill that other ones with a perfect nat, and one of the freaking D6s. We are incredible right now.
Dice, baby.
Shut up!
We are incredible, baby.
Yeah. You look through the room.
I'm ready for this investigation to find jack shit.
You look through the room, and you see an empty room with, it's all stone. You definitely no rats. You're 100% certain there's no rats, no rat holes, no anything, no burrows. This was an empty room in my notes. This was just a room. You find a silver piece that someone dropped out of their pocket on the floor. I guess. Because I don't want to not reward you, but there was nothing in this room on my floor plan.
Yeah, but you can't not reward a nat 20.
Yeah, sure. You find a silver piece.
Yay!
Yay! I have 6 now.
There is
now the next swarm we're gonna get hit with. We're gonna all roll 1s and 2s.
Yeah, that's
more than likely.
There was one room left.
The dice gods can only give so much.
Yeah, they giveth and they take.
Okay. Sai, ready to go to the next room?
Let's do it.
Wait,
By the time you're done
above board,
investigating,
yeah.
are we done?
You are done with the rats by the time they are done investigating.
that's what I was just gonna ask. How
Thank
long did we
God.
take to look in
Yeah.
the room?
Your
Okay.
dragon's breath has officially gone away by this point as well.
Sad, but I'm still coming.
Sword.
Hell sword! Hell sword!
You don't know it's a hell sword.
What's this
Shut
about a hell sword?
Nothing.
That was. Don't worry about that.
Cole doesn't even know.
What do you mean?
that.
Don't
Actually,
worry
no,
about that. It's a hell sword. What do you mean?
Yeah, Cole's very
I didn't even know my
religious.
name. Relax. It was a joke.
I didn't even know my name.
Who am I? Who are you?
Isn't your name Noel?
Shut up, Calix.
You want to go tell Ironside? Hey, by the way.
Which, if you see.
By the way,
okay,
what?
so I'm gonna go to the door and I'm gonna
Yes.
meat shield this shit again.
Okay, so you
Wait,
open the door.
Calix,
Hold on.
do we want to follow closely now that we're done investigating?
100%. I am tactically stacking with Onyx the way that an orc
Look at
would.
them. They're learning, guys. They're learning.
Sire, you coming with us? Damn it!
I'm still
For
coming.
those of you
I thought I
watching at
said
home,
that.
this is called progression.
Yeah, this is called character development.
Okay. Is the door unlocked?
Yes.
Can I walk right in it?
You may.
You're gonna find out.
Boom.
Kick it
You-
open.
How many rats?
You see a tiny
Side, damn it!
Die!
You see a it's crazy. You actually open the door and there's 6 Tarrasques. You die instantly.
Terry!
No, you open the door and you see a room with like a bunch of crates and barrels that are kind of like half decomposed. Like they clearly haven't been used for a very, very long time. Like people almost forgot this room existed. The room is only like 10 foot by 20 foot. It's like a small rectangular room. And you don't see or hear any movement when you walk in there.
Hidden. I know that like Onyx isn't from, but
I would like to do an investigation.
Please roll on that 20.
Is someone assisting
It's
him?
gonna...
I'm assisting him.
Okay, roll 2, take the highest. 8, 3. Okay, that's
Hey,
about
roll
right.
luck.
You look around quick. Yeah, there's a bunch of shit in this room. No rats though.
Okay, I'm gonna step out of the way and say there's jack shit in here, guys. It ain't worth our time.
Okay.
All right, let's go investigate the bottom half of the
that a
room.
door? Is there a door in there?
With an 8 investigation, you don't see one.
Can I look at this stuff?
What stuff?
Does someone have better vision and want to go
Stuff in there.
investigate one more
Or are you
time?
are you asking me if you could fish for investigations because you know he missed something?
No.
Is that what you're
I don't
asking
wanna
me?
fish- But you said there was stuff in here, so.
Yeah, there's
I
like
wanna
yeah. Well,
look
he
through it.
investigated the room and everything in it. That was the 8 and the 3.
Well, is there things to like look in and like take, or
Not. I mean, when Onyx cleared the room, he said everything was empty.
sad? Well, I don't initially trust him, so.
Would you like
But
to
let's keep
search?
going. No.
There you- I'll allow it. I'm just gonna make you feel bad about it.
Well, Sai,
Do it.
as a character, wants to look at.
Then I will
things
say,
for
even though
himself,
you
but-
technically use your action to help him, you can roll your own investigation.
No, I
out of
already used my
greed.
action. Well, I am a dragon, so I guess.
Yeah,
I'll
you're
do it.
pretty greedy. I think I would do it.
Sai would do it.
give it until you agreed.
I'm gonna roll a 1.
Please roll
Yeah, I
one.
know.
Wow.
That's incredible.
There's an echo in my room.
And that's with a
With an
plus
8,
2.
you don't see anything.
Hey, Onyx, you want to come check the bottom, the rest of the room? I'm gonna let you go first. You're my meat shield.
Okay, I'm gonna go toward this pile of rock.
Okay.
What pile of rocks? I can't see.
Yeah. Okay, you're investigating the pile of rocks.
Is there anything by the pile of rocks?
Roll investigation.
Damn it.
Hey!
You go through the pile of rocks. There is nothing in the pile of rocks. It's a pile of rocks.
Oh.
Okay.
To be fair, you get 6 fist-sized stones that you could use. You could throw them. They weigh about a pound each.
I'm not carrying those. I'm already
Okay.
carrying other people's shit.
Calix,
Okay.
do you trust them checking this room? Why are you back over here?
So I'm back over here because I'm just. So what I want to do is like a slow sweep of each wall, running my hand along the wall, moving anything out of the way, and just kind of checking everything.
So you're gonna go around the room,
And I'm
you're
gonna continue
pull
through
out-
each and every room. It's gonna be a while.
Okay. So you're gonna pull out like all the barrels and stuff, and then check all the walls and stuff.
I'm gonna move them so nothing's touching the walls.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'll just kind of watch
Roll.
with close distance.
I would say because you're going slow, you don't need to roll. It'll just take an amount of time. That amount of time will be until everyone else tells me what they want to do.
Okay. Fair.
Onyx,
I'll just
you
watch.
yeah,
but
Onyx,
I
you
will
looked
be
at the
there just in
rocks.
case.
Sai, what are you doing?
I'm kind of just walking around the room, kind of looking at things. I'm not really like. I guess I'm kind of looking for.
Wait, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, you check the rocks again, and you are certain that there are 6 fist-sized stones in that pile of rocks. They weigh about a
I
pound
can't
each.
believe I rolled the same thing.
Yeah.
I was
That's
literally
funny.
just trying to move my cursor.
Okay, at
I'm
this
looking-
point,
Oh,
I
sorry.
was gonna say at this point, does anyone want to tell Ataraxia and Brontes that they can come out?
Nah. No,
Well,
No,
at a-
Brontes is in its thing. We don't want to mess them
I
up.
feel like they might want to play the game.
Brontes might still have to be concentrated on his thing.
Yeah, how much time does he have left?
It's
What do we do,
been
5 minutes so far?
That fight was about 12 seconds.
If
so
I shouted from here, would they hear me?
probably. I mean, it's a wooden door.
Well,
We're done!
they didn't
Come
hear us
out!
fighting?
Wait, I thought it was stone walls all
wall-
around.
yeah, the
There's not-
And a
walls,
wooden
yeah.
door.
The walls are stone with wooden doors. I said that.
Look at where Sai's
He
standing.
did say that.
Look at where Sai's standing. She's standing at the bottom of the room.
If I heard somebody yelling from the other room, I think I'd know.
Yeah.
But they didn't hear Onyx say, "What the fuck?" when he got bit.
I thought it was like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, he said, "You
Like,
little motherfucker."
He didn't say he
I
yelled
thought
it.
of it in
Yeah.
like Onyx's actual real life person saying "you motherfuckers," so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well,
You
I could hear that
Yeah.
from a
For all,
room.
yeah, for all you know,
because I heard
yeah.
that in my college days.
Yeah, for all you know, he dropped his sword on his foot. You know, he tripped.
Oh, so Brontes
Wait,
is...
Brontes, you just broke your thing.
Okay, so you're
Might as well
dropping you're dropping the ritual and you're walking out of the room with Ataraxia.
Yeah.
Okay, you walk out and you see a room with a mass. You see a room with a bunch of rat bodies all over the place, or beheaded rat bodies all over the place, and no more rats.
There's 2 pools of rat.
There are 2 pools of rat, and then like a pile of rat to the right.
I think
Lot
we're
of
done. I don't know. I feel like all the rats are gone, guys.
Did we
As
find
much as
where
I
they've
want to
been
go to
coming
sleep,
from, though?
the other aspect of it was if we identify a magical source,
Oh
we
yeah.
got an extra payday.
Something's feeding these things.
Something's suspicious, y'all.
So I'm gonna look at the group and say
They have
all
to be
these
getting in
grabs.
somehow.
Sorry, I was gonna look to the group and say all these rats, based on the ones I've beheaded so far, have like been more well fed than the few sacks of grain that Captain Ironside or Ironwood, Ironside, I believe, Ironside said. So I think they're definitely getting in somehow. So I think we should slowly go through each room, at least in pairs of 2s, until we can find something. Just move everything out of the walls, see if there's any like burrows, holes, anything at all.
What if it's one of the soldiers? Like,
Just
what if somebody's
bringing
like,
rats down
bringing
here?
rats in here?
Well,
Why
if we
would they
can't
do
find
that?
anything, then definitely let's consider that.
Yeah. I
But
will say,
let's make sure they're not.
Let's
getting
also
in.
not make accusations. If anything, we take the payday if
And
we
we
have to. Because don't forget, Abigail's got to leave in the morning, and we're going with her if we're going to meet with the king. We take the payday. We get the fuck out of here. And hopefully this doesn't come back to bite us in the ass.
I will say,
How chivalrous
Calix,
of you.
I'm assuming that you're like walking and talking, like you're doing the thing you said before, where you're like kind of moving barrels, and you're starting in that
Yeah.
upper left-hand corner. In that room, you move the first barrel. It was a DC 10 check, by the way. Neither of you made it. You see a rat-sized hole that appears to have been bored through the stone, smoothly. Beneath the barrel where you are standing, like the barrel directly above your character. That barrel,
guys,
you
I
move
think
it,
I found how
and you
they-
immediately see it.
Hey guys, I think I found out how they were getting in. And I kind of yell out, and I'm like, Cole, do you see this?
Not very well, but yeah.
I do.
So all we need to do is like cover this up then?
Let's tell Captain one of us should wait here in case any rats come through. Or two of us.
Right here.
2 of us.
I guess
But-
it's the meat shield again.
I think the meat
Before-
shield can't get it.
Before any of you guys do that, looking at my notes, the player who discovers the burrow rolls survival.
Ah, shit.
Oh.
Okay, with a 12, just like your intelligence of you traveled a lot and you kind of know positioning and you try to keep in your head which way north is, even though you can't see outside, you are fairly certain with a 12 that the direction that this burrow is leading to, because it goes like out past the stone and then like you see dirt, so it looks like it's a rat tunnel that came up out of the dirt through the stone. It looks like it goes in the direction of the river that you guys crossed over the bridge to get to here.
So like in the general direction.
Like to that, it's not. Yeah, it's a river, so it's not like a beach. It's not like, well, it's technically a beach. Like that river bank. There's two just opposing river banks, and then they built a bridge over it. It looks like back in the direction you came from that bridge that you just crossed. In that direction is the way the tunnel is going. That you could probably, if you could find this spot on the outside of the building, you could probably, with another good survival check, backtrack the tunnel with a 12.
Okay, so even with like my 60 feet, it's going well beyond that, but I can kind of
figure
out.
It's, you can't see.
Does it look like...
It
look
dips down
is
over
really
time.
My question, or does it look like a rat made it, I guess, is my real question.
The dirt part looks rat-made.
Mm-hmm.
The stone part looks weird. Like, yeah, you know that if a rat really, really wanted to, it could technically chew through metal. But it's a big hole, and it would have taken a lot of chewing, even as well-fed as these rats are. It would have had to been a big rat that wanted to get through the stone for some reason. And then it would have taken effort. Like, it would have needed a reason to sit there and do it for a while. But technically, it looks like a rat could have made it.
Can I see any, like, pickaxe marks or anything indicating that somebody on this side of the stone was, like, hammering away at the stone to, like, wear it away?
Nothing that looks like tools. Maybe the odd tooth or scratch mark, but that could be from a rat. You're not 100% certain. But definitely nothing that looks like no hammer blows or pittons or pickaxe picks or anything like that. At least nothing that definitive.
So it's kind of like just scratch marks and teeth marks?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought I heard Sai say something.
Well, I was asking if I could fit in the hole.
No, it is a size small hole.
Okay.
I just made the rat portraits your guys' size to make them easier to look at. Those rats in technicality are size small creatures.
So we're talking like raccoons, possums?
Yeah. I would say imagine a raccoon, but like one that always goes to the same like Denny's dumpster every day, and it's really chonky.
So like Rocky and Lucy, but with shorter legs.
Yes.
Yes.
And like stubbier. They're not as long. Yeah, honestly, chubby corgi is about the size. I'd say chubby corgi is about the right size.
Brick.
Oh,
they're fucking Jersey walls.
Yeah.
With the legs.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And now you guys, and then that is what you see with the 12, and now you guys can discuss whether you want to go outside or talk to the general or do whatever that's on you.
I kind of look at Onyx and I'm like, hey, do you and me want to wait here while they go, like, tell the captain? And then as soon as the soldiers come down here to help fill in the hole, we'll go investigate with the rest of the group.
I gotta be honest. How long? Wait. Ophis, how long has this whole ordeal been? About an hour?
It has been about
like
it has
2
been
minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, he
shit.
even get to do a 10-minute ritual yet.
Okay, so we can afford a little bit of time to go get the general, let him get his people down here. We could afford a little bit of outside time, but again, we need to make sure we're rested to make sure we have an audience with the king tomorrow.
So when you talked to the general, it was about 4 o'clock. It took you about 5 minutes to get walked here, and you've been down here for about 5 minutes. It is now 4:10. And as far as you know, Melinda is still standing 100 feet away at the top of the stairs.
It's about 4 hours before it's even 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, so I just want we've got time to do this.
Yeah.
Let's just be smart about it.
You've got so much time.
We just have to leave in the morning, so I want to get this covered. I want to get this covered and make sure that we can get the bounty for the rats and the reward for figuring out how they got in.
I have a suggestion. Are we considering splitting the group to go get the general and stay here and block the pit? If it's about a 5-minute walk to go get the general and 5 minutes back, I say Brown Tees restarts his ritual for 10 minutes and let's check for magic. Well, we just stand guard anyway because we have 10 minutes where we will completely be doing just travel and gathering.
And Onyx and Calyx, and so Calyx and I'll just be here doing
I'll stay
it.
with you three. Well,
No.
and keep Brontes here. You three do that. Me, Sai, and Ataraxia go get the guards.
Well, can I just point out that based on looking at this hole and what Calyx has discerned about the hole and probably has told us about the hole, it looked like it really wanted to be in here. So I don't know if filling up the hole is going to solve the issue.
A
we're
temporary
going to-
fill just to make sure nothing comes in as we're still sitting here.
Yeah, we're going to
How are you gonna
investigate
fill it?
afterward, but we're going to let the general know, hey, we killed a shit ton of rats. Here's where they're getting in. And then Brontes might have more information if he runs his ritual for the full 10 minutes during that time where me and
To confirm why the
Calyx-
rats are coming in here with a drive. And why
Yeah,
they're
but-
so well fed.
why they chonky motherfuckers.
Did you ever think to wonder why our good buddy guy upstairs was sending only privates down here to deal with the situation?
I'm gonna be honest,
because-
I did not.
Because
thought
he
it was
said
just
he was
because
because
only
he's
sending...
like, oh, this is grunt work. I'm going to send the grunts.
He sent the grunts the first couple of times and they came back sick and stayed sick and then continued to send grunts.
Do you think we
Why?
should go talk to Abigail first, possibly, and see if she thinks anything suspicious?
I still want our payday.
We
can
can still
get
get
the
that.
Look
payday,
at us.
but
I'm like,
I,
we're still getting our money.
as a
But
person who
should we bring in
does
Abigail
not
into the circle
immediately
first?
trust authority, I think we should figure this one out.
I don't trust authority either. I just want money.
Right now, the only person I'm
Alex-
kind of okay with is Abigail, but not 100%.
Yeah, because
Okay.
she's not 100% with you.
So if we still want to
She
get our
would
money, but we
curb
don't
stomp
trust
you.
the general, how about we take the heads to the general and get our money? We say we killed him, but we didn't find the source, and we go to Abigail and tell her we found the source. And we figure it out from there.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, but
a little part
also,
of me
wait,
is
wait.
like,
Abigail was kind of... Sorry. You go, Calyx.
Sorry, Abigail is kind of resting right now after her entire ordeal of fighting an undead army. Kind of feel bad waiting here, to be honest.
She was just going to chill out in her quarters and relax. It is only 4 o'clock. You think she's asleep?
If we can't
don't know
handle
what time she
rats,
woke up.
how are we going to stand against the king and tell him what we're going to tell him?
I feel like we could take a couple rats in size defense. Like, I think she's entirely right. I do still want to get our payday.
We're going to get the payday. It doesn't have to be immediately. There was no timestamp on this. But I think we should keep this in our group and figure it out.
I think we should
So-
go...
What more can we do then besides leave the castle, go look for the other side of this tunnel?
Which is going to look suspicious as fuck.
Why?
Because as soon as we come out,
Not if we tell them
his
we're deciding to camp
daughter
out
is going to
outside.
be like, oh, they done.
If we tell them we're sleeping outside because we don't feel comfortable sleeping inside with all the sick
They
people.
also established Abigail, the guard, literally said we're not going to travel at night because it's so dangerous. So we're just going to sleep outside.
It is
Casually?
only like 4:10.
It's
so we
dangerous
could say
to
we're
travel on the
investigating.
paths, but we're on a army base. The army base itself isn't dangerous. It's the paths from here to the city that are dangerous
My-
at night.
My concern is still that somebody let the rats into this like storage
Which we
area
gotta-
to spread disease among the fort. Because if this fort falls, it's the only way into the actual kingdom.
Exactly. We might not trust the general, but he might be the only option right now. And this is very difficult for me to say to trust someone. But here's the thing. If this falls, this goes completely against our mission of trying to unite everybody.
The captain kind of looks like a pencil pusher, but I feel like if he puts in the orders to have guards stationed here while they get like masonry and everything like that to fix the hole, the rest of us can go and investigate the remaining issue to see if we can find the source of the rat infestation. Because it seems
Which
to
could
me
also
as
lead
if,
to more
like-
money.
Exactly. It seems to me like the
'Cause
rat
we're only in this for the
infestation.
money, right?
I'm in it for protecting the actual soldiers who are getting sick here. I just want to stop them from getting
Yes.
it. If they got in this time,
I was
Exactly.
being
That's the
sarcastic
only
when I said
reason.
that. I hope
Oh.
you know that.
no, it's all good. But like my concern is the fact that even if they were to replace this area right here, the rats are still going to dig through, whether by some kind of magical compliance or like just a desperate need for grain, which doesn't make sense because they stayed in the basement. It seems to me like they're trying to weaken the fort in some way. I still don't know if this is magical in nature, But either way, it's a smart decision to make a lot of soldiers sick through disease and biological warfare versus actually sieging the area. So my concern is there's a third party at play here. I think we should definitely find the source and cover the hole, but I think we should go as a group in case it gets a little dicey.
So real quick, if we're all concerned, right? We've only been down here for 6 minutes now, let's say. Been down here for that 6 minutes. Are we all okay? If we don't trust the general, we don't want to bring anybody else into this conversation right this second. Can we please, if we are worried about having another issue, if it's magical, what's the draw? Can we have Brontes do this real quick, or we all sit here quietly for 10 minutes and let him do his thing?
I'm cool.
Just to confirm if there's magic or not involved.
That's fine with me.
Fine. And whatever Brontes says, then that dictates our next steps.
Okay, so for clarity, you guys are all gonna sit by the hole in case anything comes in and wait for Brontes to take 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic. He's gonna cast it, look around with Detect Magic, and then based on what he finds or doesn't find, that is going to dictate what the party does next, involving either telling the general or not telling the general and then going to fix the problem themselves. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes.
That is correct, and I will be looking down the hole to see if anything approaches. So
I am standing right next to the hole, right across from Calyx, ready to bonk shit.
Brontes, I would suggest get a little closer to us in case something comes out of a different spot in the room. Somewhere, somehow.
Brontes, you cross your legs for the third time in the last 3 minutes and begin meditating on this ritual where you weave the magic of the world into your eyes so that you could see arcane influences. At the same time, Calyx is staring daggers down this hole, begging something to be dumb enough to try to rush him because he's watching. Nothing's getting through this hole. You don't see anything over the course of 10 minutes come through the hole. Brontes, your spell progresses unimpeded. Your spell activates, and you see the same things that you saw the last time you casted this in the tomb about Psi and Ataraxia, and now something has changed. Cole is now slightly magical, and he was not before the last time you cast this spell. It is only a little bit of magic, but it is similar magic to the magic that you can cast, but not the same. It's only like a little spark of magic, and that would explain the little bit of magic you saw him do a minute or two ago when he was fighting the rats, because he used the same spell that you can cast. But you can't tell enough of it with this spell to determine exactly where it came from. You can just tell that it's there.
Okay.
And then you get your bubble, and now you have 10 minutes of Detect Magic.
Question.
Answer.
You said he saw the same thing. Did he see anything different with Onyx?
Onyx is not within range of the spell. It's a 10-foot radius.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
I have to walk around.
It's a 10-foot sphere around Brontes.
You get 10 minutes to walk around.
Oh, so it was 10 minutes to cast, and now he's got 10 minutes to walk around.
Well, typically it takes 1 minute to cast, but because he did it as a ritual to not use a spell slot, it takes 10. So it typically would be 1 for 10, but now it's 10 for 10 to make it free. Okay, when you enter the room and Onyx enters the bubble, you do detect his weapon. The last time you cast this spell, the weapon was just like a regular sword that had like a magic pommel. His sword is now 100% magical. The pommel is still magical, but it's different magic. Like the pommel has like divination magic, and the blade itself and guard is just, it doesn't have a specific type of magic. It is just innately magical. Yeah. And then Onyx himself is not magical. He can he can cast magic, but he's not a magical creature. He's not like a sorcerer. But you do detect there is a magical essence, an enchantment essence over his heart. More specifically, in his heart. Like in his chest cavity.
Anything for Calyx or no?
I'm operating on the assumption that you guys all know you have the magic weapons you got from the general, so I'm not describing them, but yeah, you detect that Calyx's amber gemstone, the same way you detect Psi's orb, the same way you detect Weave Breaker, the same way, it's all, I'm assuming that everyone has pretty much shared that they got something cool from the general. I'm assuming that in the downtime of traveling, you've been like, check out this cool orb.
So
with the
moving
exception
closer
of
to
Onyx, just so we're clear.
No, but obviously you got a sword. You just didn't say the specifics. But it's not like Bronte's is not like, whoa, Onyx has a sword. I never saw that. He saw it. He already knew it was magical because he watched
more of
yours
its magical
disintegrate into nothing and then spring forth from the thing. And then there was the fire.
And then shrink into a single-handed sword.
and then he watched you shrink it into a short sword. Yeah, so. But you see all that.
Did he find anything at the circle?
I was gonna ask, moving into like right between the two of them. Is there anything with
around the burrow hole, you do not detect any magic.
Okay.
I would go check the empty rooms, everyone. I'll follow you.
Well, I first figure we should cover this whole room.
Yeah. You take like 2 minutes to systematically walk over the whole room. You go through all the bodies, and you don't know if it's different because now they're dead, but as far as your spell is concerned, you detect no magical essences from any of the bodies of the rats.
Mm-hmm. So then going into here. Take a couple minutes to go through this room.
Do we get anything in that room?
In that room, no, you do not.
I feel like he would have said something if there was.
Sure.
I'm just saying he did miss a 10-foot by 10-foot spot in the bottom left corner, and God's kind of the guy that'll be a douche and say he missed it.
While this is happening, Sai kind of just sits on the ground and kind of lays down.
Sai sits on the ground and lays down. Brontes, you finish your sweep of basically the entire basement over the course of 10 minutes, and you detect no new magical auras that you have not already detected.
Okay, that's fine.
Including the 10-foot by 10-foot hole in the bottom left-hand of the corner.
Then I'm gonna reconvene with the group and say that there's nothing out of the absolute ordinary that I can detect with the spell.
No compulsion magic or anything like that?
No.
That's a little suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys want to do from here now that we know it's at least isolated to essentially the mundane world?
They could have been trained to do this.
Right.
But like
exactly.
multiple rats who have all died and then like more rats come in?
Well,
Maybe.
if we have a hole here, someone could just be funnel them into a hole.
That does sound logical, actually.
But if there's
We
no
should
food
call-
down
sorry,
here,
I had a
feed them.
brain once.
Someone's still
It
feeding
could
them.
Once?
explain the amount of well-fed rats we see.
These are like pets or some shit.
Either way, I think Sai
I mean,
was
they didn't
right
look
that
like
we
pets
should...
to me, but that's your
Hey,
prerogative. I
some
guess.
people
did
are
look
into
mangy.
this weird type of thing.
Where Sai is from, and also I'm assuming there's a lot of dead bodies that get tossed around places.
Yeah.
And rats can eat said bodies. Would perhaps said rats be larger than others because they have a supply of food in that way?
You know that in this world, rats don't really cap out, so to speak. They just have a short lifespan. So theoretically, if you put like a baby rat in a room with infinite food, it would get pretty big over the course of its life until it naturally aged out. You
Right.
don't think that like there being this many big rats, you don't think with what you know that the pet theory holds much water, just the way with how greasy they are and how wild they are and their behavior and the way that they like work with each other and the way that they were smart enough to hide. These strike you more as like dirty, like not smart rats, but rats that grew up in the wild and had to learn to be clever to live to get as big as they are. If they were feeding on bodies of like people, it would need to be this many, a somewhat constant supply, like a body or two for the pack, like every couple of days at this size, because they're also breeding and burning energy doing other things.
Right. Okay. So Sai disagrees with your pet theory. It just doesn't make any sense
Okay.
to me.
Can you explain why?
Well,
Because the DM said
they-
so.
Because the DM said so. Everything that.
But that is
Opus-
the fucking reason.
Okay,
Hey,
fine.
you always say, "Oh, well, you have to explain what I just said."
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
we're just playing the fucking
Okay.
game.
Okay.
Don't hate the player,
It's
hate the game.
RP. It's
Calm
okay.
Sai's brain's a little fried.
Alright.
Give
Yeah,
her
same
a
though.
second.
Same though.
So you could just say what Ophis says and we'll be
His brain
okay.
is
But
trying to
Ophis
get
was a
right.
little
Listen.
demanding on that.
Listen, let me speak. Jesus.
This is-
Jesus doesn't live in this
No,
world.
Ophis.
So just the general behavior of these rats seems odd to me. They're mangy and gross and work together in a way that does not really speak prissy
Okay,
little
normal
house
life.
pet to me. They were hunting. They knew what they were doing. I wouldn't go as far as to say that they were very smart, but they hid from us.
They did surprise
They
attack
knew,
us.
They knew to hide from us. And they're big. Whatever they're eating, whatever it is, they have a constant supply of it, and it's not just,
Brain.
foraging in the garbage for leftovers.
So
And I don't
Maybe
have
they
a good
found the
feeling about it.
caravan.
The caravan
Okay,
was
so
like
what
a
about-
day's
Oh,
trip.
Could
sorry.
I enclose that this could potentially be related to the Dragon General?
I don't think it's related to the Dragon General per se, but
No
I
way.
think that maybe
No
at
one knows
worst
about
case
that yet. We didn't say
scenario,
anything.
We made sure
maybe
not to say
someone is
anything.
trying to mount
I'm
an
more so
attack against the
talking. I'm
fort.
more so speaking on the infection of his.
No,
No,
because
because
that
this
was
has
from
been
the
happening
Star
for weeks.
That
Scourge.
came specifically from.
Could there have been possible like little dormant spores here and there that woke when he did?
So it sounds like the people are just sick and not quite turning. It sounds like they've been sick for quite some time, and it sounds
2
for
weeks.
him that it was
we found
almost-
Dragon General yesterday.
Yeah.
exactly.
today.
But the Dragon General
enough.
himself was battling that disease for a short amount of time before he froze himself in time. Not as long as 2 weeks, but I feel like if it was the Scourge, it wouldn't be this long.
I also think we'd know if it was the Scourge.
We don't know
based
how
on-
long Risen was trying to wake him up for. Them.
Furthermore, we
But-
didn't
But we
even
know when
check
he
to
did
Sai's
see.
wake
having
up.
Vietnam flashbacks to her vision
Ma'am.
right now and kind of just stopped
Yeah.
speaking and can't function anymore.
That is actually a good point. I will say specifically, Sai, you did watch unblinking in horror at what the infection looks like from start to finish when you watched like a soldier get infected and then turn and then attack another soldier. You haven't looked at any sick soldiers, but you've looked at the rats, and there is nowhere near amount of the amount of obvious mutations that come with exposure to the Star Scourge infections that you remember. Like, you remember that there were beasts and stuff that were infected, but they all had like tentacles, 6 mouths, 3 times the size, 5 tails, 10
Reliving it right heads. now.
Yeah,
Reliving
breathing
it right
acid. You know, it's like that.
Damn.
It's like they were all
Nah.
I
visibly
kinda-
obvious.
Sai bends over, kind of hands on the knees, just breathing
Oh.
right now.
Yeah, Sai's out of
Okay.
view of me, so I can't say
Yeah.
anything.
Calyx is
This-
talking
that-
with his head down the hole, just in case.
So guys,
I was wondering why he had an echo.
Any rats down
wow. So guys, how about
Should we
this?
go investigate?
I'm gonna inquire as to if Sai is okay.
Yeah, Ataraxia was just walking towards Sai to ask if she was okay.
It's not the Star Scourge. Trust me on that. Whatever this is not that.
Look, we're fairly confident it's not magical. We're fairly confident it's not the Star Scourge. And Sai is fairly confident that these are just wild fucking rats.
Being funneled, possibly.
You know, they could be
Being
being
shoved
funneled
down a
in,
hole.
or they just found a hole and exploited it. But here's the thing.
There has to be a large.
We
food
can't
source somewhere.
just... There's obviously a large food source somewhere, like Cole just said. But the biggest thing is, maybe we just go recommend, because we know it's limited to this back room. At least for a start, let's get this filled in, get this room blocked off to try and make sure that these soldiers ain't getting sick anymore. Because again, this Fort Falls, it's a big problem. And we can spend a few hours trying to go find the entry point of this hole.
I agree with you. I don't think it'll take a few hours. I know for a fact if we send like everybody else besides you and me, I'm looking like at Onyx here, to like go just tell him to send soldiers down here to guard the hole and get masons to fill in the hole, we can go and investigate the hole to see like on the other side of the hole.
I want to get
So,
around and see what's on the other side.
Do we want to collect our payday and tell him about the hole all at the same time? And then we were considering not telling him.
I think we gotta tell him.
I think we should tell him.
Yeah.
Me and Onyx will stay down here until you guys come back with appropriate guards, and then we'll cash in our bounty.
I'll stay with you. I don't want to leave Onyx.
Okay, well then I guess that leaves
Cole, I'm gonna be honest.
And I.
You go with them because you might be able to be helpful in terms of persuading them.
Into what?
Making sure that this ain't fucking
Stand in front of a hole?
Oh yeah, because if a rat comes out, you're gonna be fucking useful.
That Melinda lady said that she
I
would
just
be
killed
right
15
outside
in
the
one
door,
shot.
right? I feel like
Melinda
all we
said
have
she
to
would
do
be
is
on the
tell her.
on the top of the stairs. Yes, she
All
is.
we have to do is tell her to go get
Safe.
people.
I agree with you, Sai. I think one of us definitely at least should plead the case. At least if one of us goes with Melinda, I feel like that would be ideal. And we'll just wait here till the other person
I
comes
think
back and not
most
do
of the
anything.
party should stay together.
Okay, so is one of you going to tell Melinda?
Two's
okay.
gotta go at least.
So
Okay.
Okay, Sai. I'm definitely going.
Okay, Sai
I'll
is
go.
going and Cole's
Okay,
going.
Cole
Okay.
and Sai.
So you walk out the room. The map, you don't need to move on the map. I don't have a map for the office. You move to the entrance. You walk up the stairs. You knock on the door. She opens it. She's still standing there. Like I said, it's only been like 10, 11 minutes. And she goes,
Oh, bye, Cole.
yeah, she goes, okay, what's going on? Is it, you get all the rats? Is anybody dead? What happened?
So the rats are dead,
Okay.
and we need to get some people down here to fill in a hole that we found.
You found a hole. Like in the
We found an access point,
in-
which
in-
we believe is the...
and then she looks at
Thank
you
you,
like
Cole.
she looks at you quizzitively and she's like, in the stone?
Yeah.
That's weird. And well,
I
and-
mean,
They've
we
been
can
working
show
on
it
it
to
for a
you, but-
while.
yeah.
I don't know if you want-
She's like, oh, I'll believe you. She's like, so what are you planning on doing? Are you gonna go to the other side of the wall and try to see what happened? You're gonna leave
Yeah.
the fort to investigate?
We want to go around and look at how they're getting in on the other side, but we also would like help filling in the hole from this side just so we can prevent more rats from coming in.
Oh,
And
that's
it's for
that's no
short
problem at all. And she puts her fingers in her mouth and she whistles, and 4 dudes wrap around the corner and salute her because she outranks them. And she goes, "Go into the basement, stand in front of that hole."
Hi, Spartles.
And they go, "Yes, ma'am," and they immediately go down the stairs past you. And Calyx,
Okay, so
Onyx,
are
and
they
everybody,
not filling in the hole?
they are
No,
going,
there's no-
they're guarding the hole while the masons, because the masons have to get cement and stuff from the storage on the other side of the fort. It's a big fort. They're gonna take
Fair
over
enough.
your job of guarding, and then she's gonna get the masons, and then they will guard the hole while they fill it in, because
I'd
that's
still
their
like
job.
an
Their
audience
job is
with-
maintenance.
I'd like an audience with the general to at least get the payday on what we've got so far and report.
She's like,
All
oh,
right, so the guards come over and relieve Calyx
yeah,
and Onyx,
the guards relieve everybody from
And
watching the
they're
hole.
on
And then
test.
if you ask Melinda to take you back to the general, Batman transition, you're back at the office, and the general's sitting at his desk.
All right, perfect. Calyx present. I believe Calyx, you
Yeah.
hold all of the bounty.
Calyx, present the case. I
So-
am currently not of sound mind and
Got
body.
I
So-
will stand next to Calyx
Okay.
to be persuasive if necessary.
Okay, so
Good
Calyx,
go.
how many total rat bodies do you have?
34.
So before I just dump a giant pile of rat heads onto this man's desk.
Yeah, please don't do that.
I'm gonna say, I hold up a sack and I go, "Hello, General Ironside. We have
The sack is
collected
dripping blood out the bottom of it. Keep
Yeah.
in mind.
34 rat heads, and we also found the hole that the rats have been gaining entrance to your basement into. We would like to go investigate them, but before that, we would like to claim the bounty of the 34 rat heads.
Okay.
And for the bounty
Three
for
bronze.
how they got in.
Okay. He on the next to his desk is like a great sword. He grabs it and he like taps the pommel on the ground like 2 or 3 times, and you see like a scribe run in wearing like robes and holding papers, and it looks like effectively a secretary. And he points at the bag and he goes, double check that count, and then get me 3 copper per body, and then have the bag incinerated. Have the bag incinerated for cross-contamination protocols. And then he goes, you found a hole? Like question mark? Like explain. He wants more.
Okay, 1 second. Let me multiply this out. So that's 102 copper pieces. Sorry, just getting all my math out.
102 copper pieces. It's 10
Cole
copper.
just did it.
10 copper is a silver, so that would be 10.2 silver pieces. So 10 silver pieces and 2 copper
Realistically,
pieces.
it's 17 copper per person in our party.
Yeah.
If you want to make it easy.
Or if you want to make it like silver,
1.7 silver.
Yeah, it's 10 per, so it's 10 silver and then 2 copper.
And
Or 1 gold and 2 copper is what it would be.
no.
So are we
Yeah,
adding
well-
that to our inventories now?
I mean, however you guys want to split it, then you could add those numbers to your inventories. It's up to you what denominations you want the coins in.
Isn't it
Let's
like
do that
one-
after. Above board,
Yeah.
let's do that after this. We know what we have.
Yeah, the
Yes.
money's
It's
not
1
going anywhere.
silver, 7 copper. Just putting that out.
Yeah,
there.
1 silver, 7
7 copper. If everybody wants to add that now while we continue the conversation, that's cool with me.
Okay, add it for now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna add 2 for Cole's. I'm adding Cole and mines on 1.
That's fine.
That's-
It's up to you guys how you do your
3
money.
silver, 4 copper.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Wait, 1
but-
silver, 2 copper per person, right?
Yes.
7 copper.
7 copper.
Felix, I
70.
trust you to keep my money.
What, you want me to keep your money?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a hot second.
Okay. So while the money gets worked out, he asks whoever feels like talking for a brief explanation of the hole.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to explain to him. So we found a hole in the stone. It seemed as if the rats had burrowed through. It seemed almost aggressive in nature, because rats wouldn't just waste all their time and energy digging a hole for no reason, especially through stone. I'm not sure what was causing them to want to burrow through this hole. Either way, we would like to go investigate the other side of the hole to see if anything over there is untoward or maybe indicating for them to dig through this hole.
Okay. It's
It's in the bottom left corner, top left corner of your basement.
Okay. He rubs his chin and he's like, interesting. He's like, that's never been an issue before. Typically they get in through the top level, like just people don't notice them at night, and then they kind of go, and sometimes they end up in the basement. A hole in the basement through a solid stone wall is strange.
The
But-
hole is definitely greater than 60 feet, so it leads me to believe it's most likely on the other side of the river.
Yeah. He goes, in that case, here's what I'll do. And then he reaches into his desk and he grabs out what appears to be like his wallet. And then he's going to count out 6 more gold. And he's going to give each of you 1 extra gold. And he's like, this is a bonus for finding the hole. And then he's like, you have my permission to go in and out of the fort as much as necessary to find out where the rats are coming from. And then he looks at you and he goes, listen, you've already done a lot. If it's something you can't handle, this is a military installation. We can handle it. Just give us a place to go. He's like, don't get yourself killed. You've already helped us out more than you know. And he takes like a very stern, like a very thankful stern, like before he was kind of like nonchalantly addressing you guys as though you were like, it's more paperwork I have to do. I want to get it over with. You have helped him with something that was troubling him, and he is appreciative of that. And so he is now far softer than he was previously.
So Calix kind of gives a stern nod back and goes, we'll do our best to figure out the source of this rat menace, and then we'll leave it to you if need be.
And he gives you like a thumbs up. He's like, thank you for everything.
Amazing. Cool.
Whoever gets more at the time.
And so now, are you guys going to go onto the outside of the fort and try to find that tunnel and backtrack it?
Yes.
What time is it? Like 4:30?
At this point, yeah, it's like 4:30.
I'm just trying to be careful. I'm an old man.
Let's go wander.
Onyx,
How old
I
are you,
genuinely
Onyx?
think Ophis will tell us if it's
Yeah.
actually getting
Yeah.
to be
Physically
like.
or physically?
you guys have communicated that you do not want to go out so long that it would incur you to lose a long rest. So I will stop it at, I will be like, it is X o'clock. You cannot progress further without running risk of exhaustion. Like, I will say that in game because you have specified the boundary of, like, you do not want the party to incur exhaustion, which happens when you don't long rest on time. Since you have communicated that, I will mentally keep track of time until such a point where you hit the crossroads of, if you continue, you will get exhausted, and I will communicate that to you. And then you can say, okay, we go back, or we continue. So I will keep track of time. You don't need to you don't need to worry about it. I want you guys, like, not doing something you think is fun because you're like, well, that could take 6 minutes. Like, I will keep all the time. I'm spinning all the plates in the background. Don't worry about that.
Okay,
All
so
right.
let's do
Now,
an
wait,
adventure.
real quick. I would like to whisper. Everybody's behind me, or well, not behind me, but everyone's here.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a little whisper, and I request to everyone: do we think it is worth having them send a couple guards with us as well, or do we just want to do the 6 of us individually? Because I'm sure he'll
I'm
give
gonna
us
look
guards.
at him, and I'm gonna go. I feel like it's just a quick investigation to see what's on the other side of the hole. Like Calyx right now is like, it seems like rats were burrowing. If that's the case, then awesome. You know what I mean? But I don't believe anything like terribly malicious is going on as
We
Calyx.
didn't
So I'm
think we were
like,
gonna get swarmed either with
Yeah, we
rats.
I do think
I-
Cole
rats
makes
that
a
look like
good
they've been fed
point
and-
here, and maybe
I very
having
much
some
had that in
extra
the
hands
cards.
to help
Yeah.
just in case there's a lot on the other side.
Does it hurt to
that we
just
don't
have
know.
guardsmen just behind us?
No.
no, okay. So I kind of look at Cole and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. After actually hearing its explanation, sorry to kind
However,
of
I
talk out
would
of
like to.
If it
ask
costs
Onyx-
nothing to us and they're willing to give us extra hands, why not take it?
Exactly. Do you guys want me to talk for that, or do you want to talk?
Wait,
for that
what did
Cole?
Sai
I'll,
just
I'll
say?
hold it.
I'll speak.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Everyone
Hold
in
on.
agreement?
What were you? I heard you try to talk. You got cut off. What's up?
I wanted to ask Onyx what that fancy spell he used to make himself healthy again, or whatever I saw back there. What was that?
Onyx didn't
Oh, yeah.
cast a healing spell.
It's an effect. It's just
he
a
just
thing.
automatically has that.
Well,
yeah.
I used lay on hands earlier, but I
passive
do have
effect.
other things to heal. But
No, they're talking about the reason you're immune to disease.
oh,
So
Wait.
I thought that was a spell you cast.
sorry.
It's not. It's something you
That
just
is a
have.
yeah.
Oh,
That is,
yeah,
that
it's
is a
just on my
class
hat.
ability. That is
It's a
class ability.
passive.
It's a passive thing.
We just didn't. He just didn't realize it, and
Sorry.
God brought it up to his
Yeah.
attention.
Okay.
It is
He's
not
just
shareable.
immune.
Yeah, it is
I
not.
did
Unfortunately, it is not
ask anything
shareable.
to be immune. I
Okay.
just am immune.
Yeah, it's a perk.
He got
of
freaked out
his
for
thing.
nothing. Hypochondriac.
Yeah. But
We're
yeah,
good
so
then.
so is someone going to ask General Ironside basically to send reinforcements with you
Oh.
just in case?
Cole said he would.
I'll speak to him. Yeah.
Okay.
Does he have the ability to do that?
That's what we're gonna find out
Yeah.
real quick.
Is the
Well,
question.
he's a rogue, so
No, not
General.
Cole.
Oh, the general can do whatever he wants. He's in charge of the whole fort. But he could send
So,
200 guys
General-
if he wanted to.
We don't expect. Speaking to the general.
Yeah.
We don't expect anything to go awry per se. But if you have a few men you could spare as an aid to us, as a backup, God forbid something happens, do you have a couple people that can follow us out as we do our investigation in case we find something rather
And toward.
out of line.
extreme?
Yeah. And the general kind of looks at you and he nods and he goes, That's smart, just in case. And they would know the area better than you anyway, just in case. That way you don't get ambushed or something like that. He's like, let me look at my deployments and see who I have. And he like ruffles through his papers. And he's like, it's against policy to take anybody off guard duty off the walls, just in case. You know, you never know when something could happen. I can't do that. But there are a few people on reserve who guarded last night that we could wake up an hour early before their shift starts. I can give you... Roll persuasion.
Un momento, por favor.
Pork favors.
Dude, I'm like at the edge of my seat waiting for this roll.
Yeah.
I am so scared of this roll.
Persuasion's a good one for me. Come on.
Yes!
Okay. He says, I can give you, and then he looks at, and it's like, I don't know, Bravo Squad. Roll 1d6 plus 1. You get that many soldiers.
1d6.
Nick's
Plus
gonna.
one.
Oh, you're gonna roll.
So you
a one.
cannot
He's
get
gonna
less
roll
than
because
2.
I asked for
So
snacks
4.
earlier.
4.
Okay. So
Alright.
he's
We'll
like,
take 4.
yeah, he's like, I could
Hey,
send,
we're
I
good.
could send you Bravo Squad. They're new, but they finished basic. They're competent. They're all lancemen. They're trained in pikes, And so you'll get 4 pike soldiers.
Let's 8 extra hands.
I'm gonna remove
Thank-
the rat bag.
Thank
from
you
my
very much,
inventory.
General. We appreciate it.
Okay.
We'll
And
try
then-
not to let them
Okay.
die.
And then are you guys
No,
going
shut
to, are you guys going to, I will say the general will have them meet up with you at the front gate. Are you going to go out and try to backtrack the trail?
I would say let's go to the front
Wait,
gate.
wait.
Meet our new people.
Wait, do we need any supplies at the market, like arrows or anything, before we go out?
I gotta check my. Calyx checks himself. He's like, "Nah, I got my hand axes.
Okay.
I'm good to go." And you guys are.
I think most of you
I
started
got
with
it.
like 30 arrows. Like you should be good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm just putting it out there
Yeah.
before someone.
I'm
ran
also
out of shit.
yeah.
Cut
I'm
your
also
jib
not
on
like
it.
yeah. I'm also not like a stickler about ammo. I'm just
Did you just say
assuming.
I like the cut of your jib?
Hell yes, I did. I got the dad proficiency.
Oh my god, bro. I can't believe you just said that.
I had to. It's my character.
It fit, I get it, but like, damn.
Okay,
We reconvene at the
committed.
front gate with the guards that we are now being given, essentially.
And their jib, I'd like to mention.
Who's
and their jib. Who the fuck?
These are the guards.
These are your guards. I have
They
to
have
make them.
snacks.
Give me a second.
Ophis, did you not
Ophis, did you
anticipate
plan
this?
for us to get guards?
Absolutely, I did. That's why.
That was not a confident
And that's
statement.
what a good DM does.
Oh, I knew you could attempt to recruit somebody. I just didn't know who you'd recruit, so I didn't make any tokens, and now I'm clicking and dragging the guard stat block to give them
I love
pictures.
that.
So yeah, now you have 4 guards. They do not have names. Do not ask me for names. It is too late for me to be creative. They are
Guard
guards.
1, 2, 3,
3 and 4.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah, perfect.
CD's nuts. I got him.
Okay, so
I
now
immediately asked what the guard's names first.
okay, so you now go to the front gate. You go to the front gate and you go, okay, there are 4 guards there. They go, hello, sir. They all talk at the same time. They'll have the same voice. And they all go, we're Bravo Squad. Don't ask our names. We're here to help you with whatever you need help with. We're going to sit over there and be quiet until you ask us to do something. And then they do a peace sign and they fade out of existence until you summon them.
I say,
Okay,
everybody
Calyx?
good to start our journey?
Calyx, you're the one that had the perception of where this hole was going.
Lead us.
Lead the way, buddy.
Okay. Tracking the path is a survival check.
Even though I know the general direction?
You know the general direction. You find the hole and you know it's towards the river, but tracking the trail is underground, right? So you need
Fair
to
enough.
try to backtrack it with probing it with a stick and trying to make sure you don't it doesn't take a curve that you don't notice. And then next thing you know, you take the wrong turn in Albuquerque and you're at the wrong thing, you know?
Do I get advantage because I know the general direction of the hole?
Nice sprinkle, sprinkle,
No,
sprinkle,
but if someone
sprinkle.
helps you, you get advantage.
Can I get
I
some
will
help?
assist.
Sprinkling.
Okay, so
I'll split
you
it
get
up.
advantage, and this is also a skill check if anyone wants to cast a
Oh,
spell like
nice.
guidance. Guidance would apply
Oh,
here.
I can do that.
Yeah. So
I
roll
thought you
a
had
one.
Is
to-
that useful at this point since Sai already
You're still
sprinkles?
you're all still new. I'll allow it. Okay, so 23.
Do I need to cast guidance right now?
I mean,
You just
the 19 passed, but a 23 is better than a 19, right? It's like BG3, right? Big number make happy. So why not big number? Because this is a skill check, right? It's not an attack. You're not in combat, so you can guidance as much as you want, infinitely if you want, but you can only ever have one guidance per check. So with a 23, you effortlessly backtrack the trail, and you don't even get lost a little. You walk for about 30 minutes. You follow out about 200 feet around the fort is clear cut. All the trees are gone, all the grass is trimmed low so that nobody can sneak up on the fort. After that, it goes kind of like to loose woods and meadow, and then it goes straight up into forest. And you track it all the way through the woods, through the meadow, through the forest, to the other end of the forest, like 30, 45 minutes out in a meander. It's not a straight line, it's very meandering until you get to like a hill, to like a hump. And you kind of lose it in the hill because it's deep towards the bottom of the hill and you have to go over the top of the hill. And then you crest the hill to try to find it on the other side. And now you're looking down at like the edge of the woods into like a sparse beach area.
The rat home. Beach rats?
More rat.
Is that why they were so greasy? Were they just wet from the ocean?
None of you tasted them, you don't know.
That's
Hey,
entirely
What was
fair.
the question? Sorry.
Okay, so you look over you guys are sneaking up through this forest. You sneak up on them because you rolled over a 20. So you get like they don't know you're here because you rolled, so you snuck through the woods so stealthily with your expert survival. You crest the hill. You look over at the beach and you see 3 swarms of rats, like kind of by the waves, and they're kind of like the waves are coming up and they're running away, and then they're running and they're chasing the waves, almost kind of like puppies. And they're like picking up shells, and they'll see like a little hermit crab and they'll like chew through the shell and eat it. And then you see a couple of like bigger, stockier rats towards the south end, like just 3 individual rats that are just kind of sitting there, and they're watching out towards the other end of the beach, like in the direction opposite you, like just like almost like guards, like they're looking in case something might come and attack the swarms of rats. And then you see these 2 rats. These 2 rats are sitting. They're sitting over here, like where they are next to each other, and they're just kind of sitting out. And you watch as one rat kind of goes to the water and then jumps in the water and then dives like into the water and disappears.
Question: do we see any discernible holes?
Yeah, so
Like-
right here, if I could draw, it's going to be a rectangle, but imagine it was a circle. Right here. It's black.
rectangle.
It's black. It's.
I see.
Can you see the black?
Oh
Have
yeah,
you-
I see it.
Oh,
By
that
the
is
top left hand.
very much blended in with the
My
map.
bad. It just I like the black because of the
I got it now.
ambiance.
You're
So
right, next to that
here.
single rat, right?
Yeah. So that's like a
Okay,
that's all.
that is
Yeah.
so much better.
So imagine a beach that leads up. Imagine a beach that leads up into like a 3-foot cliff edge, and then everything above the cliff is grass and forest. Inside the cliff edge, like at the top, you see the
That's the
beginning. You see the beginning of the hole, and that seems to be where the big one of the, because this rat here is noticeably bigger than all the other rats. Like they're more mature.
Is no one
Oh,
concerned
so it's
about the
actually
one that
like
just
Lucy.
dove into the ocean?
I'm very concerned about that one, but I'm gonna look to Ataraxia and go, "Are you sure you can't communicate with them yet? Because they're kind of cute
It
the
had
way
an
they're like
emotional
scavenging."
I'm very sure that I can.
Kill him!
Really
Kill
want-
him! Kill him!
I'm not a fan of Nina Slaughter if we can help it, but
They're rats.
Oh, wait a minute!
Have you figured out what you can do, Druid?
I just. Ah! Well, wait a minute. No, because I don't have it. I don't have it selected.
didn't
Oh, it
count it
doesn't
as
matter.
a
What's
ritual?
selected?
Whatever.
You know how like I can only have like 4 of my level 1 spells selected at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have Speak with Animals selected.
It's
No.
a ritual spell.
No, but you can do another thing with your class that would allow you to speak to rats.
I can't. Oh my god. Hold on.
DM
Hold
help,
on.
please.
Hold
Or-
on.
I don't want to tell her how to play her
Hold
character,
on.
but she knows what she can do. I think, unless you forgot. With your
Can I become a fucking rat?
Yes, you can. Your Circle of the Moon. You can turn into anything with a
I can turn
CR1 or
into a
lower.
fucking rat. I totally forgot I could do that.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna turn into a rat.
Okay, now
That
because-
is stark contrast. Can you speak to rats? Turns into a rat.
Rat.
Okay.
Two very important things. For one
Y'all
thing,
worried about my magic missiles?
yeah, for one thing, none of your friends have ever seen you do wild shape. So I'm gonna have you describe in detail what it looks like for Ataraxia to transform into an animal. But secondly, and more importantly, because of your circle choice, you can turn into not just like a rat. Like a rat is like a CR 1/8 creature. It's very weak. You can turn into anything that is CR 1 or lower. So if you wanted to turn into something like a dire rat, you could.
Damn, organ time.
Can we get an owl bear?
No,
Yeah,
they're
when do we get
CR
owls
4, 3 or 4. Also, they're not a beast, so you can't.
Eventually,
turn into
after I level up, I'll get there.
them.
Owlbear is my favorite thing to use.
Yeah, but yeah. So you could choose to turn into like because you know that the little rats are like 3 health little rats, but then you can that in the world you've seen them. There are bigger rats like dire rats, rat matriarchs, rat patriarchs, like big nest running rats that have a lot more health, that are tougher for adventurers to fight, that are like about CR1. That the DM is saying he's cool if you want to turn into big rat instead of little baby rat. If you think
I'll
that's
do
cooler.
that.
Okay. Okay. So now, please feel free to describe what it looks like for Ataraxia to transform into what is effectively a rat the size of a golden retriever.
Ted?
Ted?
So I was 50-50 between. I'm thinking, just so it's not like weird and graphic, it's not gonna be like you can literally see my body
You know, it
transform.
doesn't have to be
into a
animorphs.
rat. It's just gonna be like there's gonna be like a large like beam of light, like that's gonna basically just blind y'all for a second while I transform into a rat, and then I'll just be a rat.
Okay, now you have the choice. Do you want your equipment to suck into your body, or do you want it to fall off of you?
Dude, I turned for you.
Does it affect me in any way to do either or?
Well, if you drop your equipment and then you walk over and then you go out of rat, you wouldn't have your equipment. So
I'm gonna hold on to it.
okay,
then.
in that case, it's part of your form now,
Okay.
which is to say it's inaccessible.
But it'll be accessible after
After you
I'm
transform
not a rat
back.
anymore.
Like let's say hypothetically you had a potion and then you suck everything into and you turn into a rat. Your friend can't grab the potion off you because the potion is in your body magically. So you would have to unrat to get the potion. Whereas if you drop all your gear and they needed a potion, it'd be on the ground. But you couldn't get it because you would have walked away. So that's your trade-off. I don't think you have a potion, but I'm just saying I use that as an example.
The only thing I have is a Thunderwave Storm. I don't
Yeah,
know if
so
it-
okay, in
hold
that
on to
case,
that?
in that case, you transform into a dire rat, and then you're free to do whatever it is you want to do. If you want to walk over, just move your token as though you're a rat. Also, very important, she cannot speak in rat form because rats can't speak English. She can understand speech, she cannot speak.
So like I can speak with the rats, but I can't speak with my.
Yeah, you cannot
Party,
speak
because
English
now
to your
I'm-
friends. You could speak rat to the rats, and if your friends speak English to you, common, then you
I
can
know what they're
understand
saying.
them. But you cannot be like, "Hey guys, it's me. I'm the rat." Like you speak like a rat chitters, basically. But you keep
Okay,
your
cool.
intelligence. So your intelligence and your wisdom and your charisma stay the same. So like you could draw a picture with your claws in the sand or do whatever, but you cannot vocally speak.
Okay.
This day just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah, right. All one day, by the way. You guys woke up this morning in the dungeon. Mondays, am I right?
Mondays.
He's a
Calix says
lasagna right
nothing else besides, okay then.
Yeah,
Those
Okay.
are some interesting drinks.
Okay, well, there's a rat next to us now.
it's a big rat.
But I imagine he saw Ataraxia
yeah,
change,
yeah.
so I'm
You
like,
all,
okay,
it's
well,
very visually obvious.
You saw
that-
me burst into a
I-
beam of
like-
light and then become a rat. Like,
I guess that means you can talk to the rats.
Holy
now.
shit,
I kind of
big
wave
rat.
at you and like I salute you and say good luck on your mission. Let us know what's up.
Attitude?
can I wink? Can I wink at him?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do anything.
At a
around
rat
that.
That's a wink.
Ataratata.
At a rat-a-tata.
Ataraxia.
Calix feels
Ataratata.
odd but accepts this
Ataratata.
interaction.
Yeah.
So I lean against
Ataraxia.
Felix's arm and like is half asleep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I make my way down to the beach, I guess.
Okay. Once you get onto the sand, you notice that the big rat by the hole and like that first swarm of rats, they kind of look over at you as they notice movement, and then they see a large rat, and then they just look away from you because you're just a rat.
Sorry, real quick, I'm gonna prepare an axe throw. If any rat looks like they're about to attack Ataraxia, I will.
How far is your
hand
axe
axe.
throw?
Yeah, what are you, 30,
Wait a
60
minute,
with
hold
hand
up,
axe?
hold up.
Question.
It's 20. It's 20 to 60.
Okay, so it'd be
feet
with
range.
disadvantage. Okay.
I have a
Well,
question.
Well, they're not
Even
60
move.
away, are they?
If we were to move, would we have a problem?
If
No,
you
yeah,
guys
no,
would
I-
move, if you move from where you are standing, you have to roll stealth to maintain being hidden. You are currently hidden because
I can hit every single rat on the beach with the axe throw without disadvantage.
I thought with
Yeah.
axe throw, axe throw is 20 up to 20 is no disadvantage, and 60 is max range with disadvantage. Isn't that how the throw hand axe works in 5e?
Oh,
Felix
let me
is
look it
next
up
to
while
me,
you
so
guys
I guess
talk.
I'm leaning against Cole.
Okay, so
I
I'll say,
can't hit anything.
yeah, Ataraxia. Once you get close to the rats,
Well, you're
what
range,
you
range.
what you notice is very important. The swarms of rats.
20 advantage.
The swarms of rats look kind of weird. Like they're as chunky as the other swarms of rats, but they look a lot more mangy and like missing bits on the ear. One's got like a missing foot. Like they look very disheveled, and they've got a lot more like fleas and stuff than you noticed on the other rats. Not that you ever searched the rats specifically, but you know that Calyx did, and he communicated what he found. What catches you noticeably off guard is that the rat to your left, the singular rat, as you get closer, is actually about as big as you are. It is actually a dire rat. And noticeably, it is disgusting looking. It's greasy. It's got like pus coming out of its eyes and its nose, and it's like sniveling. Patches of fur.
Milk.
Patches of fur are falling off. Its tail is like curled in and like black rotted at the tip, very necrotic, like it's got no blood flow. And it's like sneezing and like trying to clean itself, but it's got this like gross green saliva coming out of its nose and tongue that like when it goes to clean itself, it like rubs it on its fur, and it just makes the fur even grosser. And it's just like, and you can hear it because you're a rat muttering to itself in rat, and it just keeps saying like, gotta spread, gotta spread, gotta spread. And then it's like over and over and over. At the same time, you watch as from the ocean, because it's been about a couple of minutes for you to transform and do whatever, you watch as the rat you saw go into the ocean come back. Token layer. Okay. And then it, in its mouth and all over its body, it has kippers all over it. Like it's got like 10 or 20 in its like needle sharp teeth in its mouth. And it's got them like they're biting it on all over, like on its fur and on its feet and on its tail. And they're just like, they refuse to let go. And it goes into the middle of the beach, and it does like a dog. It shakes it all off, and it throws the equivalent of like 30 or 40 kippers onto the ground. And you watch as like swarms of rats rush in, and they start ripping them to pieces and eating them. Kippers are, think of them as like an in-universe piranha. So he grabbed like a school of piranhas. They all attacked him. They all bit him. They got caught up in his like gangly fur. He came out of the water and then threw them all to the rats and fed them. And then he goes back up to next to the other giant rat. And then he like rubs up next to her and is like, doesn't say anything, but he just has this like stern 1,000-yard rat stare, I guess you could say. And he's watching the swarms of rats like eat all the kippers. And
That's
then
concerning.
now see this information. So you should be able to see the one that is all disgusting and sick looking is the diseased rat matriarch, and then the diseased rat patriarch is the one who went into the water, grabbed a bunch of fish, and then fed the swarms of rats. And they are now currently head in the sand eating all these kippers and piranhas and just like stripping them to bones. And Ataraxia is watching all of this from like 5 feet away in horror.
Horrified.
And
Horrified.
and that is where we will call this session.
Jesus Christ.